Thank you. Hi, everyone. So it's actually kind of perfect timing that we're talking to you now, right after that round table or panel.
It's contextual. Yeah.
Well, but it's about measurement.
No, I'm saying perfect context.
Oh, yes, sorry. But yeah, so what we're going to be talking to you today about is omnichannel measurement and understanding advertising effectiveness in this fragmented landscape that we're in. I think we've heard fragmented a ton the past day and a half so far, so kind of taking this a little further and talking about how we can really make sure that our measurement is being impactful and we're measuring across all of our channels. Again, this is Steve Tschosik. You guys may have met this.
You just don't pronounce the TS. Then it's really easy.
Yeah, he's super modest, and he is our Vice President of Sales. And then myself, I'm Lori Adler. And just to give you a quick recap on Blis, in case you're not too familiar with us, we are a fully integrated planning, buying, and measurement advertising platform. We are geo-based, and privacy is at the core of everything that we do. So because of that, we are able to provide omni-channel planning, activation, as well as measurement all in one place for you. And on top of that, thanks to our Audience Explorer platform, we do not rely on IDs or cookies. So you can reach 100% of your audiences across any channel using Blis, which is really unique and helpful for marketers to help you set up for success and proven performance in the long term as IDs and cookies are going away. But enough about us. Let's really talk about why we're here today, and that's the industry. And what we're looking to focus on is the consumer. And knowing that the consumer and everything that they do dictates what we do as marketers. And we know more than ever today there are more touch points to reach a consumer. If you think about your day yourself, you start the day listening to your favorite podcast, then you go to your office, open your desktop, and then if you're a diligent employee, you don't look at your phone until your way home. And then when you're running to grab dinner, you pass the digital out of home, and then at the end of the day, you unwind, relax, stream some CTV. And all of that shows that there are more and more opportunities for marketers to reach consumers and to be unmissable to them. And we kind of really believe that omnichannel has become somewhat of table stakes. We know that it's really important to reach the right consumer at the right time on the right channel. And we have the data that backs it up. It shows that running on campaigns that run 3 or more channels have a 287% higher purchase rate compared to those advertising campaigns that only run on a single platform. So we have this data, but then also, I don't know if you all remember, yesterday, Danielle Ferrero mentioned that her campaigns that she saw that ran across multiple channels had a higher ROI. So I think it's kind of universal. Everyone's seeing stronger results across multiple channels. But what's also interesting on top of this is as we're seeing the rise of omnichannel, we're also seeing the dissolution of data and cookies and IDs. And it's a really interesting piece that we're seeing because as platforms are receiving less and less data with the dissolution of cookies and IDs, we're also seeing that increase in omnichannel and needing to find a way to connect those audiences and those audience profiles across the internet. So that's really why we're here. We want to talk about how we can revolutionize measurement and use data that essentially is universal for us. For a very long time, we've talked about the cookie, the death of the cookie and that currency and what it does for targeting. But for us, we really feel like the piece of that crumbling cookie that we've forgotten is measurement. So we want to talk about how we can measure and connect those previously disconnected pieces. As you see here, this is measurement today. It kind of looks pretty black and white. It's kind of dull. It's manual. It's siloed. We're looking at apples of oranges to oranges, we're looking channel by channel. It's expensive and it's short term. It's not really marrying that data together to help us understand the full impact of our campaigns. And today, a lot of marketers are looking at things like proxy metrics, which we've talked about yesterday. That's looking at CTR, VTR, LTR, and that's important. I mean, these are metrics that are not going to go away, but they're not giving you the holistic picture of what you're actually doing and how you're moving that needle for your business. And then when we look at business results, we're getting a better picture here. We're seeing sales lift, brand lift, and store visits. And this is what's going to be really important to help us understand, was your campaign behavior changing? In the long run, understanding if your campaign is behavior changing is really going to help you understand what moved the needle. And because of this, a lot of marketers are looking and speaking about two different models of measurement, which we actually touched on a ton the past day and a half as well, is multi-touch attribution and mixed media modeling. With multi-touch attribution, the issue with this is that it's only focusing on certain channels. It's very fragmented, and you're only looking at campaign-specific metrics, and it's on the micro level. And on top of that, it's relying on cookie and IDs, so that's going away as well. And then the other end, we're looking at media mix modeling, and this is kind of looking at the overall picture. And it's timely, it's very costly, and it takes a very long time to put together these models and behaviors, and you're looking at a macro level to understand how the business functioned or how the marketing overall functioned. So what we really need is something in between, something that's going to really help us disconnect what was previously not connected, but also can look at how your audience's behaviors changed on a campaign level. And previously, like I mentioned, connect the disconnected. So actually help you understand how did your campaign change your audience's behavior on channels that were previously we couldn't connect together with display, CTV, and digital out of home. And that's why it's time for a breakthrough. And here at Blis, we have actually put together a patent-pending measurement solution called Smart Holdout Groups, where essentially we're able to look at the audience based on the audience level, audience-first approach, and then understand how the campaign affected these audiences across all the channels that you run on. And we are actually able to create, a true control versus exposed audience groups based on all the characteristics of your audiences, making statistically similar groups to then be able to measure all the metrics that matter to the business, whether that's sales lift, footfall lift, brand lift, app downloads, even things like custom metrics like how many subscriptions did you get in a week. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to walk you through a video of our Smart Holdouts group, but before I do that, it's kind of quick, so I'm going to explain to you how it works. Because we are an audience-first approach kind of company, what we're going to do is we're going to build an audience. And in the audience, what we're doing is we're building an audience that's focused on the holidays. We know the holidays are coming around the corner, even though it doesn't feel like it here. And we're going to start with audiences like homemakers. So these are people that are going to home furnishing stores or home goods stores to buy stuff for their home for the holidays and make it seasonal. And then overlay purchasers of alcohol, because if you're like me, you're going to be making a lot of seasonal drinks when you're entertaining. And then we're going to look at the Texas audience, and then with a click of the button, our Smart Holdouts group is going to be able to build the control versus exposed groups for us to then use for measurement. So we're going to go into this video and show you this. So what you'll see here is we go into the US. Oops, sorry. So what you'll see here is that we go in the US. We are, oh my God. Sorry, 1 second, let's see.
It wants to work.
It did work, I promise you guys. So I guess what we can do is, if anyone wants to see this later, we're happy to build custom audiences for you and show you individually how we can actually build the audience. But what it shows here is it actually shows us building the audience, and then with a click of the button, the machine learning creates these audiences, which is very cool for the control versus exposed to then be able to measure those brand metrics. On top of that, it takes into consideration human behavior. So it takes into consideration things like cross-pollination, commuting. So we're making sure that these control versus exposed groups do not have audiences that are actually going into the other zip codes as well, which is super cool. So definitely reach out to us personally, and then we'll show you that as well.
Hey, Lori, if she manually clicks it from the laptop, will that work?
Let's try it.
Oh,
why not?
Yeah.
Will you manually click that through from the laptop?
Let's do it.
No. Okay.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, because I could build it, not building. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry guys. Promise you it's more exciting than that. It's very cool. But so basically the Smart Holdouts group, that is our methodology. And then the metrics that we output, like I mentioned earlier, footfall lift, sales lift, purchase intent, brand lift, app downloads, and customs, those are the metrics we're able to actually measure. And what we have here to actually show you that just right in front of you, is a campaign that we just closed for DC Lottery, where we actually ran an omnichannel campaign where we're able to actually measure by the individual channel, but then also measure the impact of all the channels together, including a store visit uplift across all the channels that they ran with digital out of home, CTV, display of 67%, and then a purchase intent increase of 160% as well. So some really strong results that show the effectiveness of all the campaigns together versus individually. So we don't want to pitch you guys too hard or anything, so definitely come reach out to us to ask us any questions that you have, or if you, again, want to see that smart holdouts live for us to put together for you.
All right. Thank you. Good job, guys. But by the way, that's the oldest trick in the book, having a live demo fail, so you can keep people in suspense and have come find you to see it in real person. So
I swear we tested it quite a few times.
attention, exactly, attention. Please get with these guys. It actually is a very cool dashboard and an awesome solution. So please get with these guys for more on that. Thank you. Great job.